Good morning, afternoon or evening, wherever you may live in this wonderful world in which we live. That looks a bit different to the usual, doesn't it? And that is because I'm in Switzerland. Just completed running the weekend workshop, which I do near and in Zurich. So why not hire a motorcycle? In this case, it is a little Suzuki GSR 650, a little yellow buzz box. Not my usual kind of ride, but hey, it's got two wheels and I'm in a strange place. What better opportunity than to go and explore, see what there is to see, and maybe take a few pictures. Will you look at that? Isn't that just gorgeous? Photo time. I do think this looks absolutely gorgeous. It's very hazy, very misty. It would be really great if we had some little bits of light coming down through the clouds. You know, if you could sort of get in a little closer. Imagine this little town here being a beam of light, just sort of bringing it to life. But hey, it isn't. So what should we do? Let's make something out of that moody sky, because there's a sort of a line through the sky running down that valley. Let's do that first. So I've got the wide angle lens on. How wide do we want to go? I don't think you want to go super wide, because you'll end up with something like that. It's all just a little bit too far away, isn't it? But you see what I mean about that line of clouds running down the middle of the valley. Let's just sneak that focal length in just a bit so we can see a bit more of that little town down there. Where are we now? Because focal length is so important. Don't go mad with it. I am at about 19 millimeters. And I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to pan the shot up a bit so the horizon is just below the middle, because it's those clouds that look great. 500th of a second, f5.6. Doesn't matter where we focus because everything is so far away. It's beyond infinity, particularly with a wide angle lens. Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool actually. Let's have a look at the histogram. Oh, there's a little tiny bit of burnout in the sky. I'm going to do one more, just a sneeze darker. Let's see how that looks. Oh, there's a little bit of light coming. There's a little bit of light coming. The sun's coming out behind me. Oh, aren't we the luckiest people in the world? Is it going to last? Is it going to last? Yeah, I think it's as good as it's going to get, and I'm not sure it's going to help much. But let's get rid of a little bit of that highlight. I'm watching my histogram and reducing ISO there. That's pretty cool. Look at that. The sun's just suddenly come up again, hasn't it? Let's wait a moment. We might be able to watch it. There's a line of light. Let's watch it run down that valley. I think we're going to get something interesting. You watch the light move. I'm going to put my 18 to 55 lens on, because I think it will be a little bit better for this. Lens on. There is a bit of light down there in the valley. I can see it tracking its way through. Look at this. You see it down in there? It sort of started on us and now it's working its way up the valley. I don't know where it's going to go. It would be great if it went onto that little town there, but I don't think it's going to. Nonetheless, we've got a highlight. It's a viewpoint. It's on some trees. That looks quite nice. Let's quickly take that shot because a little pool of light. Look at that. Suddenly, boom. That is awesome. With those clouds, it's just lit up. Those few trees. You never know if you don't go. But let's ride on down that valley and see where the road takes us. We've got one. And it's pretty cool. Hey, look, somebody's llamas. Hello, mate. Hello, mate. I didn't know we were in South America. Pretty cool, eh? You never know what you're gonna see. But isn't this a pretty valley? It really is rather lovely, and I'm so glad we've got a little bit of light starting to wake it up. When we get down the other end, we'll have a look and see what it looks like going the other way against the light, because shooting against the light is often the best way. But you know what? I'm loving riding in Switzerland. Loving all this traditional Swissness. It's all kind of how I imagine Swiss houses to look. It's really rather lovely, isn't it? And the valley over there and the hills. Let's have a look at these places. Don't they look great? I'm going to cut off down this little back road. Look at that place. And just see what we can find. Got a river down there and everything. Isn't that, I've just seen something behind me, and I think there is a photograph waiting to be taken there. Of course, there could be some up there. They're everywhere, but I've seen something which I think will work. Look at that building there. You see with the guys walking around the corner? That looks interesting. With the bridge, you know, and on the other side of the street, look, there's another little house. I think there is a shop there. I'm just going to shoot with a GoPro because I really, really like the super wide look that this is giving me. I think I'm going to have to invest in a super wide lens for my camera, if that makes sense. So what do we got? Look. So here we have a road and a house. Look, we've got this pretty little thing here. I don't know if you can see on the other side of the road, just about on the tip of my grubby fingernails, another little house. But look at that awesome sky. Composition is not a camera function, it's a photographer function. Finding what works. I don't like it with the branch of the tree in there, so we can just turn the camera left a bit, move forward a bit until we find the place that looks good. Are we seeing any river down there? There's a little bit of water. I think we're getting a hint in the corner. Let's come back a bit, get a bit more sky. So I think there's two things. Maybe this one using the railing, and there's a little bit of water down there and the house is higher in the frame. Let's try for that one, and then we're going to go for another one with a lot more of that sky and bend in. Look at that, look how that's bending in that tree. Right, bang it onto photo mode. Now look, you see there's nothing clever with this. This is just composition. This is arms and legs and hands and feet moving around. So let's do the looking right upwards one first. Let's do the moody one. I like that. I think that's pretty cool. It's really making the most of the sky, and the wide angle lens is distorting the tree. Now let's pan down a bit. Take a little pace forwards. We've still got much the same composition, but it's just a slightly different angle, and it's including a little bit of the stream which is going on down below me. Tell me, which one do you prefer? Lots of sky, less sky? I think we should move on. I'm going to start heading back. It's clouding in a bit, and with a bit of luck we might get a bit of sunset action as we get closer to that area. I'm amazed we got out at all this morning because it was slinging it down with rain. This is the view off the balcony of the Air B&B where I'm staying, and it's a pretty good view, isn't it, if that's what it looks like on a bad day. So big shout out to Bettina, who owns this Airbnb. Great place to stay, really helpful lady, super friendly, places like your own. Right, onwards and upwards. Let's go see what else we can find. Well, that was pretty cool. And it's starting to rain. So I'm going to start heading back the other way, because it's brighter over that way too. Now hopefully I've chosen a different route back on my Google Maps, and we'll see something different in a little while. Meanwhile, I have to say that this buzzy little GSR 650 is really good fun. The riding position isn't exactly my shape. I'm built for comfort, not speed. You know what? Not a bad little bike at all. Not a bad little bike at all. Well, this looks promising. Over there we've got the lake. Here we've got the yellow peril. Now I know we're a bit in shade here and it's a bit bright over there, but I think it will be possible, if we're very careful with exposure, to get a shot with these clouds which have got a few little pinky hues in them, and this little road and these trees framing it up, and I think it'll look pretty cool. We want a picture of our bike, don't we? So you guys have got to come over here, way back over here somewhere like this. And I think if I look in the back, yeah, looks quite good, doesn't it, really? Even from back here, I'm starting to like these GoPro shots a lot. I've got my wide angle lens on the little Fuji So I'm going to set a 10 mil, so it's nice and wide. I don't know if you can see there. Let me move you over here and try and straighten you up just a bit. There we go. I think I need to be just here. Yeah, I do. Now what I want to try and include is, we want this tree. I want these trees. You see that sky? I know it looks a bit blue in the video. We've got the little house, we've got the bike here, we've got a bit of the road. I might just move this way a touch. I might have to move you again. The perils of filming on your own. Something like that, with the bike down here in the foreground. Now, playing with exposure, see, as we go darker, we get more sky. As we go brighter, we get more bike. If I can, there we go. So we've got to find a place in between the two where the exposure is just about working. Very carefully look at my histogram. It is almost peaking off either end, but I think we can just about do it. With the bike in the middle, 10mm lens, I've got a 30th of a second at f5.6. I'm going to focus on the bike, 1000 ISO, and I think we can just about make that work. Yeah, that's not bad, is it? That's not bad at all. It's amazing what you can do. If you want to learn any of the things that I've talked about, come and have a look at my online courses, particularly my Masterclass in photography, which will give you light, composition, and how to use your camera. There's only 5 controls you need, and it's all in there. And it's got great reviews. If you want to come on a workshop with me, well, check out the workshop page on my website. I've just finished one here, as I said earlier, and there are many others coming up. You don't have to be a photo biker to come on a workshop with me. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe. The little thing down below, hit that notification bell so you don't miss one. And beyond that, it's been a pleasure riding around talking to you. I've quite enjoyed the yellow peril, and I hopefully see you in the next one. Take care.